Today, we're about to jump in to Need Cash, Ask Me How. And that's exactly what today is all about. Today is all about helping you get money. So if you're looking to get money to grow your business, then we are going to talk about the best ways to do it during this training. So if you need cash to grow, then ask me how to do so. Today is all about you. It's all about an open Q&A. It's also all about talking about your funding scenarios, because whatever your needs are, it's probably going to help other people get funding as well. So if you're looking to get money for your business, type into the chat exactly what you're looking for. Let's get those questions addressed as we are live today. So look, if you're looking to get money right now, then you should probably already know why, right? It's really critical to be able to get the money you need with what's happening. And we've got a lot of changes that are taking place that we've talked about now for really the last couple years, where we've talked a little bit about basically getting the money that you need to grow your business. We've got hyperinflation. We already know that the cost of everything is going up right now. On top of that, we've got multiple bank failures, and it's not just in the United States, right? When we see Credit Suisse overseas, they were really one of the biggest banks that we've seen recently to have significant troubles, and just really kind of went through a restructure, let's say, where the government got involved to help them basically get bought by UBS, by another bank. So we're starting to see these bank failures across the actual world now, as we have said could potentially happen. And now what we're seeing is that very similar climate of what we saw in 2008. Banks are becoming more restrictive. They're tightening up. The government's radically increasing rates at a level that we've never seen before, making it harder to get financing at reasonable terms. So if you're looking to get money, now is the time to do it. We've been talking about this over the last year, and as the conditions continue to get worse, your ability to get the money you need also continues to diminish as well. So again, if you have a funding scenario, go ahead and type it in. But we're going to talk about the exact steps you need to take today to get the money you need to grow your business. And I'll gladly talk a little bit about your scenario if you'd like to do so as well. So hello from St. Louis, Mike. Thanks for coming in. Nonprofit dialysis, I don't know why. Dialysis. I don't know why I can't pronounce that today. I think it's misspelled, or maybe I'm with Julian Org. Thanks for coming in, Julian. And hey, loving the program right now. Was able to get 3 trades within 1 week. Nujian. I cannot pronounce anybody's name today. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on working with us and having the results you're getting. Let's talk about getting you even more money. So if we're talking about getting you money and getting you critical access to cash to be able to thrive, and that's what we want right now, because remember, keep in mind that whenever the economic climate changes, we shouldn't get fearful. What we should be doing is we should actually see the opportunity. And that's what's interesting. I just got back from a conference in Las Vegas with the biggest banks and mid-sized banks in the country. And this was one of the common themes, is when they're asking the big banks, what's going on? What are you thinking about what's happening with these bank failures? They basically say one word: opportunity. We see this as a huge opportunity. I even heard Citi say, we're doubling down on what's happening right now. So a lot of these banks are taking advantage of these opportunities with the changing climate, and you should be too. But in order to do so, you've got to be able to access the money that you need. So again, if you have a funding scenario, if you want to talk about the money you can get for your business, type it in the chat as I walk through the steps to do so. So the very first step with getting money for a business is you need to assess your lendable strengths. Look, there's a good and a bad of what's happening right now. The bad is that there's too many options to choose from. And that's a reflection of the good. The good is that there's more money available to you and I as entrepreneurs now than there ever has been before, because there's all these alternative fintech lenders, and the big banks are out there even aggressively still lending money right now. So there's a lot of opportunity. The problem is it's overwhelmed. There's too many options to choose from. I call it the cash access problem. There's more money than we can access and we even know what to do with, but accessing it is hard because we don't know where to look. So the first thing you want to do if you want money for your business, you have to decide where to look, what kind of funding to look for. And the easiest way to do this is by assessing your lendable strengths. Now, there's 3 of these, and you've heard me maybe talk about these before, but they're very crucial to getting you money, because you only need 1 to get money. And if you have all 3, then you're getting the best loans out there, including SBA loans. The very first of these C's is credit. How is your consumer credit? If you have good consumer credit scores, 700 FICO scores or higher, then there's a good possibility you can get money just based on that strength. There's programs called Credit Line Hybrid, for example, where you get $150,000 in funding as a startup business, like no doc. You don't even need to provide documentation or have collateral. Your credit loan can get you approved. The other part of the C equation is business credit. And I often recommend this to business owners that don't have any lendable strength. So the bottom line is with this three C's formula that we're talking through, everybody gets money. I don't care what your risk factors are. Everybody gets approved. Everybody gets approved because of the business credit side of that C strength. Meaning if you don't have the strengths that lenders look for, then create one. And you can create one by creating a business credit profile and score. That will help it make it easier for you to get loans or credit lines. But that alone, the building of business credit ability for the business to fund itself. You get 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 individual credit limits on credit lines and cards you can then use to basically fund the business. And that accounts for about 85, 90% of what you may need to buy in your business. So that first C is very important, credit. Do you have good personal credit? Do you have good business credit? If not, improve your personal credit, build your business credit, and either one of those are good options to be able to get you the money that you need to grow. Now, that's only the one C. We've got to talk through the other C's as well, which we absolutely will do. I just wanted to make sure I give hello out to everybody out there right now. SC2 to hire a staff member. Awesome. I understand. And we'll talk about funding for that as well. And Patrice says, hello. I wanted to see the opportunity. Awesome. I appreciate you coming in. Box office, where can a disabled business owner get funding with a low credit score? So that's a great question. Let's talk about this. So I love this question here from Box Office because it goes to the problem of, hey, actually there's two things being mentioned here. And the first thing is hey, I am a disabled business owner. So the first things that you want to look at when you're in any kind of underserved class is you basically want to look at grants. I'd look at grants right now. I'd look at grants for the disabled, for example, grants for disabled business owners, because there's a lot of grant opportunities, which are free money out there just for people in underserved groups, like, for example, disabled business owners. So I would start there. The other thing is look, you're saying I have a low credit score. So let's talk about these other C's. Now, we've already talked about how you've got to figure out what your lendable strength is. And you're wise enough to know, hey, my strength is not credit. So the other option is that we look at one of the other C's or we build business credit. Building business credit will help you get the money that you need to grow the business. But you also have other options with these two other strengths that lenders look at, which are two of the other three C's. And the second of that is collateral. So collateral or asset-based lending is like the biggest classification of lending that's available to you and I. If we look at all the loan products, the programs that are out there for us, collateral-based lending is the biggest. It has the most types of funding that's available. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of assets you may have that can serve up as collateral. And there's a lot of assets you may not have, but someone else around you may have that can help you get served up as collateral as well. And by the way, I'm going to throw this up because if you'd like to see exactly what it is that you can qualify for, then you can easily come here and get a free finance assessment. Our team will do that for you at no cost. All you do is scan the QR code and it'll take you where you need to be. So when we look at collateral, we look at any asset that could be served as collateral. Let's just talk through some of the most common ones. Stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs. These are assets you or somebody else may have that you could borrow against to get financing. We could look at automobiles. We could look at vehicles. We could be buying a vehicle or leveraging a vehicle we already own. We could be buying real estate, whether it be a fix and flip. We can get financing for that. If we're buying commercial real estate, we can get financing for that. We could borrow against commercial real estate or homes that we already own, for example. Maybe we have inventory. Maybe we sell things online. We're an e-commerce business. Any of those things can be served up as collateral. So, for example, you could use collateral-based lending, and you could have an e-commerce store, and you could get 100% of the money you need for the inventory to sell online. So maybe you have an online business. You can get all the money you need for that inventory to sell online. So that's in that collateral-based segment as well. Maybe you want to buy equipment. Maybe you already own equipment. You're borrowing against it free and clear. Maybe you're an insurance company and you have a book of business that you could leverage as collateral. So the C category that has to do with collateral looks at any assets we have that can be served up as collateral. And if we have one of those assets, then what that allows us to do is it allows us to actually come in and be able to pledge that as collateral to get financing. Now, remember, with these three C's, we only need one of them, not the other two. So if I have good credit, I don't need collateral and I don't need cash flow. If I have collateral, I don't need good credit and I don't need cash flow. So when we were just having this conversation with Box Office, the Box Office says, hey, I need money, but I have credit issues. Then go with one of these other C's that doesn't require good credit, like collateral. do you or anyone around you have an asset that can be served up as collateral? That opens up the door for financing as well. And Glenda says, hey, is this going to be recorded? It is. You're on Facebook right now, Glenda. Wherever you're watching this on Facebook, when we're done, you'll be able to go back and watch the actual replay. And Flory says, hey, tell me a little bit more about credit line hybrid. And I'll pull that comment on the screen. Well, I'll actually give you a QR code so you can get all the information, but I'll tell you a little bit more about Credit Line Hybrid. So Credit Line Hybrid is the best program I've ever found for startup businesses or businesses that just don't want to verify any cash flow. And that makes sense because there's a lot of problems with verifying cash flow. You might not have 2 or 3 years tax returns. Your bank statements might have non-sufficient funds and things on there that don't look favorably to you. There's a lot of other reasons you may not want to supply or have problems with your actual documents, your income documents, where you don't want to supply them. So when we talk about Credit Line Hybrid, for example, it's only based on the credit C, one of the 3 C's, credit. It's all that's needed. We don't need collateral, which means it's unsecured. It doesn't have to be collateralized by anything. We also don't need cash flow because it's no doc. No doc means there's no bank statements. There's no income statements. So we don't need to supply any income statements to get approved for this program. You're getting credit lines, oftentimes equivalent to about 5 times whatever your highest credit limit is. So if you have a credit card right now on your personal credit report and the limit is $10,000, for example, say you have a Chase card with a $10,000 limit. Well, then in that case, you'll get about 5 times that, which is about 50 grand. Let's say you have an American Express card with a $20,000 limit on your personal credit report. Well, then you'll typically get 5x that, or about 100 grand. We typically see business owners get it approved for their initial round of funding round 1, for up to about 150,000, depending on your credit limits. All you need to qualify is good credit, 700 type FICO score. You should have less than 6 inquiries in the last 6 months. Utilization, your balances compared to the limits of your revolving accounts need to be lower than about 40%. If you meet that criteria, there's a good chance you can get approved. It's no doc. I said you don't need any income documents. You get 0% rates. Some credit cards and lines are 6 months, some are 12, some are 18 months. So somewhere between up to 18 months, you get 0% as well. And you could take the cash out at 0%. That's why it's called Credit Line Hybrid. If we look at a credit card, the benefit is they give us 0% rates for up to 18 months. That doesn't happen with credit lines. The benefit of credit lines, we could take cash out of these credit lines without paying a big cash advance fee like we'd have to pay with credit cards. If we combine the benefits, then we get 0% for 18 months and the ability to take cash out of the credit lines. That's why it's called Credit Line Hybrid. It's a hybrid of the best of credit cards and credit lines, and it works really good for new startup businesses. So new startup businesses are able to come in and be able to get approved without any income documentation, without verifying income, without collateral. So, and again, if you're interested in Credit Line Hybrid, you could scan the QR code right here, and that'll take you right to a point where you can get more information and even come in and be able to and actually be able to get apply and get approved as well. Now, Hun says, my consumer credit report are over 750. I think I'm looking into business credit. I'm thinking of PGing with a family member or a Chase Business Inc. card. So this is something I would not recommend, and I'll tell you why. This is just my suggestion to you, is that when you're saying, hey, look, I'm thinking about getting a credit card because my credit score is good. If I was you and you were my family member and you were asking me for advice, then what I would say to you is, first of all, go scan this QR code and look at Credit Line Hybrid. It doesn't cost you anything to get pre-approved. And the other nice thing is that it's a soft inquiry. They don't put a hard inquiry on your credit report, and they can typically tell you how much money you're going to get approved for same day. And the reason I recommend that is that usually with this program, you'll get 5 times more money than you'll get going at it on your own. So maybe you will actually come in and maybe you will get this Chase Bank, the Chase Inc. credit card that you're talking about. Or did I say Chase Inc.? I said the Chase Business Inc. card that you're talking about. But the problem there is you're only going to get one card. You could get 5 to 8 times more money with Credit Line Hybrid than you'd be able to get with one card. So anybody that comes to me and says, I'm thinking about going to get a card, I say, look at this program first. And I'll give you an example of this. We actually had a client come in and didn't want to go through Credit Line Hybrid. He insisted he wanted to do it on his own. His scores were 800. We helped him go to his bank and get approved. He got approved for $12,500. That's how much he got approved for. We had him pre-approved for 75 grand. Well, obviously, once he got the 12.5, he said, okay, I learned my lesson. I want to go through your program. I want the 75, of which we said, you can't. We told you up front you can't. Once you put that hard inquiry on your credit report like you did, then now the 75 is off the table, because once they see you have these hard inquiries from other banks, then you're either not going to get approved or get approved for a smidgen of what you would have without that. So not having hard inquiries on your credit report from big banks is a really big deal with this credit line hybrid program, because you could get, 5 times more than you'll get on your own. But the minute you start putting hard inquiry on your credit card or credit report for even one credit card, then what happens is it ruins your ability to get maximum funding. Even one inquiry could cost you 25 grand with that program. So a lot of lessons there, right? We don't want to go randomly apply the wrong thing, because if we do, chances of getting better things, and that's definitely to speak to the credit line hybrid program. And Patrice, a lot of people say that you're interested in that as well. And Hunt says, hey, when would be a good time to apply for business credit after I just got approved for 3 trade lines? There is no such thing. In the business world, there's never a good or bad time to apply for more and more and more and more. Now, what you do want to do is you want to actually navigate through tiers of credit. So what I mean by that, and I'll actually show you a real example here, is that when you're applying for business credit is really based on tiers, meaning that there are certain credit issuers that will approve you for credit at different times. Some want you to have 3 accounts on their business credit reports. Some of them want you to have 7 accounts on your business credit reports. Some of them want you to have 9 accounts on your business credit reports. So what you do want to do to navigate through these tiers, it just becomes very important that you actually have the right amount of trade lines or accounts reporting on your business credit report that lenders would want to see to actually get you approved. And here I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. So this is how our clients build business credit. It's called our business credit builder. It's within our business finance suite. So you can see that we have tiers of credit. So if one of our clients came through and got tier 1 here, then in order to move to tier 2, well, I also want to show you, you see that step 4 in our process is to monitor business credit. So you can see that we are having our clients do the same thing. Hey, get some initial accounts on your business credit reports. Then you have to monitor those credit reports because you need to see those accounts reporting. When they are reported, now you can move to trade, you can move to 2. And these accounts will approve you if you have 6 accounts reporting on your business credit reports. So the answer to your question, and again, I'm going to throw that question up on the screen. The question is really, hey, when do I apply? When's the best time to apply for the next round of credit? The answer is when you have the right amount of accounts show up on your business credit reports. For all of our vendors here in tier 2, we would want to wait to apply for these until we have 6 accounts on our business credit reports. And then when we have those, then all of this type of funding becomes available for us, as an example. Now, and I can go on and on and on. Our finance suite has all the credit that you'd be able to get with 6 accounts. Now, once you're in that tier and you're getting more out into your business credit report, then the next thing you'd want to do is wait till you get 9 trade accounts in your business credit report. Then that would open up what we call tier 3 vendors. And then all of these types of credit would become available for you as well. So you can see that really the key is that you want to basically wait till accounts are reporting on your business credit reports. And when you've done that, then that's actually going to open up more tiers of credit. The key to building business credit is the more accounts you have showing on your credit reports, then the more tiers of credit become available, as long as you're using those credit cards. You can't just get 10 credit cards and spend less than $100 on each one. You need to be using them. But if you're using them, then what that's going to do is it's going to exponentially increase the amount of credit you're then able to get approved for, because more and more tiers of credit become available for you to actually get approved. Hey, Dallas, Texas is in the house. Is the money from CC? Is Flores? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about. Give me that question, phrase a different way. I can maybe help you. And Tony says, how can I get cash? So let's go back to Tony's question. So we've already talked about 2 ways to get money. We talked about getting money based on good personal credit. We talked about 3 ways. Getting money based on good personal credit, building business credit to get money. We also talked about being able to leverage some kind of asset, inventory, equipment, 401k, stocks, bonds, IRAs, anything that's an asset that can be served as collateral. The third C, the third way we want to get money, is we want to focus on what's called cash flow. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, right? 6 months of us generating revenue in our business opens up opportunities for us to get funding. We could maybe be accepting credit card payments and use merchant cash advances to get approved. We could have something called revenue lending that looks at all the money going into our bank account. We can use PayPal, Square, and Stripe. If we're using those to process customers' payments, they'll give us financing 6 months. I mean, we can get as much as $500,000 in funding, again, just because we have 6 months worth of consistent cash flow. So that rounds out our 3 C's. It's step 1 in getting cash. We have to know what our lendable strength is. Do we have 6 months worth of cash flow? No. Do we have collateral, some kind of asset that can be served up as collateral? No. Do we have credit, good personal credit? No. Now we want to build business credit. Business credit's our best way to get funding. But if we have any of those 3 C's, we want to look at one of those as our lendable strength and use that to get money. And by the way, there's other options too. We could rely on somebody else's credit. I could have a co-signer or a guarantor, they're called in the business industry, where that guarantor, we're using their credit to get approved. I could use somebody else's stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, inventory, or equipment as collateral to get approved. So we always want to look at those 3 C's. It's step 1 of getting cash. What is our lendable strength? Is it credit, cash flow, or collateral? If not, then we look to build business credit. We look at grants. We look at using other people's collateral or other people's credit in order to get approved for financing. And if you add all those up, it's like 7 different ways that you're actually able to come in and get money, including business credit, which by itself would give your business the ability to basically fund itself. So now that we know this, now that we have an idea of our business strengths and what could potentially get us money, the next thing we want to do is we want to define what our needs are. What is it that we need money for? And the reason I say that is that if I need a loan, it serves a different purpose than a credit line. If I get a loan, I start paying on that right away. So that means that I really need to have a use for those funds. In most cases, I want to have a use for those funds before I go get the loan, because once I get the loan, I start making payments. So if I'm going to use the loan for marketing growth, then I want to be able to start marketing and getting a return right away to compensate for the new payments that I'm taking on, right? So we usually don't want to get a loan unless we are ready right now to start doing whatever the loan is for. Now, the exception to that is right now, today, when lending conditions are not good and they're getting worse. And this is the time I've said for the last year, you need to get money right now, even if you're not using it for anything. And that's what we did. Last February, we went and got an SBA loan for, $300,000 plus dollars. 100% of that money is still sitting in our bank account. We've never touched it, which is against what I normally teach. But we did it because we knew what was happening now was going to happen. We saw interest rates climbing. We saw inflation. We saw all of these things taking place. And we said, now's the time to get money. If we would have got that same money today, we would pay considerably higher payments and interest than if we got it back then. The same thing a year from now. The Fed's continuing to raise rates. So if you don't get the money now, you're going to pay more down the road than now. But again, what is the purpose of the money? Maybe it's a credit line. Maybe I'm going to use it. I need the money for a short term. I'm going to pay it off, but then I want the ability to go out and use that again and again. Well, that's a credit line. So by understanding the purpose of what we need the money for, we can determine the need of the money. Then we can start determining things like, do we want a loan? Do we want a credit line? And we also need to look at the payment terms that fit best for us. Meaning that if I'm trying to get money to get me through a seasonal business, then I don't want to, I'm a ski slope and my season is the winter. Well, and I need money to get through the summer. Well, then I don't want to go get cash flow financing with the really short term because my payments are super high. And really high payments when I'm on a down season is the opposite of what I need. That exasperates my problem. It doesn't help me. So we have to know what we need the money for, because otherwise we could easily pick the wrong kind of financing, right? So again, then you also need to figure out, do you need the same funding for everything, or can you diversify the funding? This is the smartest lesson I can ever teach you about getting money for your business. Most people say, I need 50 grand, whatever that number is, and that's it. I talk to people all the time. How much money you need? How much money can you get is one of the common responses I get. It's like, that's the wrong answer. What you should have is an Excel log that lists, this is how much, or maybe not an Excel log, it's a business plan, however you want to do it, exactly how much money you need and what the money is used for. And here's why. I'm going to show you exactly why this is so important. Because a lot of money is very easy to get and a lot of money is very difficult to get. Credit lines are not hard, are not easy to get. Loans are easier to get. Credit cards are the easiest to get. So let's just look through here. And I don't know. Let's go to tier 4. Let's just look and see, for example, a business credit building. I don't know. Let's start with maybe some tier 2 credit. So let's say that I'm building I'm a contractor. I'm a general contractor, right? So I'm already starting to see that there's some cash credit I can get here. This is going to be very big for me. HD Supply, Barnett, the Home Depot Pro, right? So as a general contractor, these are very important accounts to me. Very important, because I can start buying all the supplies I need to do my job using these accounts. And by the way, I'm in tier 2. This is month 1. This is 30 days into building business credit. I'm starting credit cards with these kind of accounts, right? Now I'm going to come in. I don't need Office Garner. That's not my industry. So some of this credit I don't need. I might not need gas. I might need gas because I've got a fleet of trucks on the road for my people, but I don't need office supplies. So some of the stuff I'm going to need, some of the stuff I'm not going to need. But again, a lot of what I actually need to grow my business, I'm able to grab right here. As a general contractor, for example, Home Depot is very important to me. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because, again, you have to know what your need for the money is, because business credit's super easy to get compared to credit lines. So if I have a list of what I need the money for, then it's easier for me to say, I'm going to use business credit cards for this stuff. And then I need a credit line or a loan to start advertising on Facebook. So now instead of needing 50 grand for all of this stuff, I could build business credit. Business credit's 42 grand of the 50 I need. Now I only need a loan or a credit line for 8 grand. And I call this stacking. It's where we stack different kinds of financing to get you more money. And we want to do this because when we understand the needs of what we need money for, we can go with the easier ways to get financing for some of that stuff. And then the more difficult stuff that we want to look at, like getting credit lines and loans, then with that stuff, we can go and need less money, which is way easier for us to actually get. Okay, so, and if you're looking for more information on financing, I'm going to throw this QR code up. This thing's like a 90-page guide with everything about building business credit financing. That'll give you the shortcuts that you actually need to succeed. Now, that being said, let me come back in here. I want to make sure that I get to your question. So, hey, should I email one of your advisors right now about the credit line hybrid? Yeah, absolutely. I think, Don, you're already a client. So go in and email an advisor, go into your finance suite, click contact us at the top right. You can call us, you can email us, and they can talk to you about getting approved for credit line hybrid. If not, you can just email info@creditsuite.com and we can help you there as well. And XI, however you pronounce that, says, I just started being able to see today. Congratulations, following your tips. What is the next best step to take with a brand new day-old business? Well, I'll tell you right now what I would do. I'm not big on telling you. I'm big on showing you. So I'll show you exactly what I would do. It's exactly what we would do for our clients. So the very first thing I would do with the day-old business is I would fix the reasons that most people get denied for financing before I even create those issues. I would make sure that I have an entity name set up that does not reflect them in a high-risk industry. You could do high-risk NAICS and find a list of high-risk industries so you know what to avoid. I would make sure I have a separate address set up for the business. I would set up an address with, for example, a Regis, Alliance, or DaVinci, a virtual office. You can go to creditsuite.com/virtual. And at creditsuite.com/virtual, that's our solution for an office. Don't go to iPostal. Don't go to UPS. Get a virtual office or a real location. You have your entity set up, but you need to make sure that your business name, address, phone number, everything for your business is correct. See, usually people set up their entity first. The problem there is if you do that after or before you set up your address, your phone number, you're going to go back to that entity and you've got to update that information. You got to make sure that your Secretary of State record has all the correct information. You need to get an EIN from the IRS. You need to set up a separate phone number for your business as well. Set up a website and an email address for your business as well. You also need to make sure if you can get any licenses that you get them and set up a business bank account. And it's not a bad idea to get a merchant account set up as well if you're going to accept credit cards. If you've done this, you've done what we call setting up a fundable foundation, and then you're able to come in and start building business credit and start getting business credit right away. Oh, I'm not even showing anybody this. Oh, my bad. Here's a look at what that looks like. So again, setting the name up, getting the address, setting your entity up, getting your EIN, your phone number set up, your website, your email. These are all of the type of things that will actually be able to get you. And as a matter of fact, I love these QR codes. I'm obsessed with these. I got to be honest with you. So here is a quick fundability. If you're looking to build fundability, let me get the question off here. Then here's everything you need to know about building fundability right here. So you can go here and get an in-depth analysis of your fundability. Just scan that code, and that'll get you everything you need. Or as a matter of fact, I'm even going to give you a better one. Here is a free fundability mini course. So this fundability mini course right here that I'm putting on the that I just shared on the screen, this is actually 100% free, and it walks you through everything you need to know to build a fundable foundation. Those are the initial steps that I would take. And then after you've done that, you're actually able to come in and start getting business credit built as well. So hopefully that helps you there. Okay. And by the way, congratulations again on the brand new business. I think you're going to kill it in business, and I'm really excited to see what you do. So come in and give us updates. Okay. Credit line hybrid, the money from credit card or from a loan. Flory, so it's actually credit cards and credit lines. So they're not loans. They're basically revolving credit cards with credit line capability. What it means is that credit cards with 0% interest for up to 18 months with the ability to take cash out at 0%. So they actually have credit line capability. That's how credit line hybrid works. And Ian says, I need money for more inventory, marketing, and physical shop. So let's look at this. So if we look at what this is a really good assessment of what people would typically say. Okay, so I need inventory. So I would consider looking at inventory financing, or what kind of inventory do you need? If you're selling from an e-commerce business, there's a lot of funding sources out there that will get you the money you need for the inventory. For marketing, you're going to need a Visa card or a MasterCard or a loan or a credit line, depending on what kind of marketing you're doing. We've had clients use business credit for flyers, for yard signs to host local seminars, and they use business credit for the marketing. So figure out what kind of marketing you do and get an idea of how much that may be. And then a physical shop, you got to figure out what's involved to set that up. Are you renting? Are you buying? What are you going to put into that actual space? Business credit can account for about 85% of this, which would only leave maybe about 15% or maybe 20%, maybe 10 or 15% of the money with all that you'd need to be able to come out of pocket to be able to get what you need. And business credit could probably cover the rest. Greetings from Rochester, New York. Thank you very much for coming in and saying hello. I appreciate that. And by the way, if you'd like to just find out what kind of financing you can get or how to get the right financing for your business, I just threw up another QR code. It's 100% free finance assessment where we can talk through that with you. And Lomel says, hey, how can you see if you have any business credit reported? It's very simple. You go to creditsuite.com/monitoring. Here you go. Creditsuite.com. Monitoring. And if we go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, then we see right here that you can easily monitor your business credit accounts. Currently, it's $24 a month. That price is about to skyrocket because the relationship we have that's made it so cheap is changing. It's not us, it's them, I promise you. So creditsuite.com/monitoring will get you, and I'm not showing you again my screen. I'm keep messing that thing up. So again, let me show this real quick. But if you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, that will actually be exactly where you can access your business credit reports. Now, Larry says, hey, Tyler, you're awesome. I appreciate that. Love all the information you're helping people with. God bless you always. Hope you can help me with building my business credit. We can definitely help with that. We've helped about 50,000 people through the process. So let me know what I can do to help. And SC says, what if you are on Social Security, a fixed income, and your credit score is 600? It's all three. Okay, so that's when you want to build business credit. And this is a common feature. Remember, when we talked about who can qualify for money, we talked about there's three things that lenders look at: your cash flow, your credit, your collateral. So let's expect that in this case, you don't have good credit. Let's say that you're a startup. You don't have credit. You don't have credit either, and you don't have cash flow. And let's say you have no collateral. That's when you want to really focus on starting to build business credit. Because in your scenario, you can still build business credit. Then you use business credit to buy the stuff you need to get the business off the ground. Now your business is generating cash flow. Now you're letting your customers pay you on terms, and now you actually have collateral because you have account receivables. You should be working on improving your personal credit. So along the way, now your credit's going to qualify for financing. So business credit can get you the money you need to get the ball rolling, while then you're working on growing the business, which will then help open up those other C's for you. So hopefully that helps answer your question there. Great. Appreciate the information. Go ahead and contact them right now. Thank you very much. I'm glad that actually I'm going to try to I just was sharing the screen, turn it off because it'll look like some kind of wormhole if I don't. Okay, I've just joined a month ago. Awesome. Congratulations. And our advisors can help you through any part of getting financing as well. We even have finance specialists that can actually help you through the process of getting money. So now we've talked about step one. We got to assess the strength, cash flow, credit, or collateral. We talked about step two. We got to define our needs. What do we need the money for? And then specifically, what are we actually going to use the money for? And then the step three is let's start getting money. Let's start stacking cash. Let's get business credit. And then any of the C's we have, let's tap into all of them. So we had a client, for example, and he was looking for $400,000 to pay off a tax lien. He couldn't get it from his bank. His credit wasn't good. He came to us. We got him the $400,000. He paid that off. We ended up getting him $1.5 million. He ended up opening a second location, ran for public office because we stacked funding options. And that's the key here to get you the most amount of cash. We got to first figure out what your strengths are. Which of the three C's? Cash, strength. Then we've got to improve whatever strength we don't have, start building the business, generating cash flow, building business credit, improving personal credit too. Okay. And then we also need to look at, just letting our customers pay on terms. It includes, creates assets for us that could qualify for collateral-based financing, for example. So now we can start stacking funding using business credit in any of the funding that we're able to get from those three C's as well. Now, if you want help along the way, right there's a 100% free finance assessment. All you have to do is scan that QR code. And you can also give us a call right here, and we can help you talk to you a little bit more about the money you can get. Right here's our phone number. And if you just want to see the financing you can qualify for, then you can go right here to creditsuite.com/get funding. And that way our team will actually talk to you about all the money you're able to get approved for. So you can either go to get funding and get approved, pre-approved right now. You can also come in and scan the QR code, and the QR code, you're able to figure out about your fundability. We'll tell you what's wrong there. We'll give you tips and tactics to build your business credit. And we'll also talk to you as well about all the financing you can qualify for. And by the way, I want to do one selfless plug here. If you are really looking for a business to get into or a way to grow your existing business, we help a lot of people in the space of offering business credit financing as a service, a primary service, or even a secondary service, where a lot of people will come in and do this just to be able to help clients they already have to sell more of their products. Some of them bolt it on as a secondary service. They're an accountant or attorney or credit repair company, and they add this on as a secondary service to be able to make more money. And a lot of people decide to go this route of offering business credit financing as a primary service. If you have any interest of helping entrepreneurs right now with getting through what's going on out there and getting the money they need while making a very lucrative career for yourself as a primary or secondary business, we have a 100% free training that takes place next week. It's 3 days and a bonus 4th day that teaches you everything you need to know to become a business loan broker, to actually offer business credit financing as a service. We teach you how to market. We teach you how to get leads. We teach you how to make sales, how to convert. We teach you how to build your branding, everything you need to know about different funding programs out there. The lenders come in to actually get signed up with, so you can start offering financing with them right away. We talk about upsells and cross-sells and how to make more money. We bring in literally the foremost experts in the space of being a business loan broker into a 100% free live event where you have an entire community. We give away thousands of dollars in cash during the actual training as well. And everything soup to nuts you need to start doing deals during the actual live stream. It all takes place Monday, this coming Monday. So this coming Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern, you're able to attend. It's 100% free. All you need to do is go to businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. That's businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. And that you can register for free, maybe even join the VIP. We've got a smaller group of VIP that's going to be there for our bonus day. And the VIP also gets all kinds of other cool benefits, including all the recordings of the event. But again, you can register 100% for free at businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. So all you have to do is go to businessbrokerchallenge.com, businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. I can't even speak today. businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. And if you go to businessloanbrokerchallenge.com, you can register 100% for free. And then from there, we'll see you Monday. We'll talk to you more about offering business credit financing as a service as well. And he says, I want that. I look forward to seeing you there, the corporate builder. You're going to get a lot of stuff. If you're in the corporate builder, then you're building corporate credit. You're going to get a lot out of that training of offering business credit financing as well. I plan on helping other businesses out when I launch mine up. That's awesome. And Han, if that's your goal, then make sure you go to businessloanbrokerchallenge.com, because it's soup to nuts walkthrough of everything you need. Guys, legitimately, there's one big training company in the country for business loan brokers. They are $25,000 and up is how much their packages run. I'm giving you a free opportunity to come in and be able to learn everything you need to learn to become a business loan broker without that cost, because I think that the world of entrepreneurs needs help right now. And I honestly think that you could be one of the people that helps them. So make sure you check it out at businessloanbrokerchallenge.com. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today. That walks through exactly what you need to know to get cash. Remember these steps. Step one, we've got to assess those business strengths. Which of cash flow, credit, or collateral do we have? We want to build business credit as well to create a lendable strength. Two, we've got to really map out exactly how much money we need and what we need the money for, so we can figure out the easiest kind of funding to get for each one of those things. And three, we want to stack funding, get all the money we can get while improving the other things that make us more lendable. Improve our fundability. I got you access to a fundability mini course for free during this training. Okay, we want to come in and we actually want to build business credit, which opens up more tiers of financing. We talked about that during this training as well. We want to start letting our customers pay us over time on terms. That opens up collateral for us to become money, for us to get lending. We just generating cash flow opens up financing, and improve our personal credit too. All those things will help us get even more money as we continue to grow the business. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to visit businessloanbrokerchallenge.com to register for a 100% free event that starts Monday to teach you everything you need to know to become a business loan broker. And now you know everything you need to know to get cash for your business as well. So thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on our next training, where we talk about more cool ways to get the money